don't know what the enemy is using to cause you to not to be able to be pregnant or whatever it is. The Lord must expose it. But this world, don't think that everything you see is, no. We have wicked and wicked people in this world. That's what Psalms, we'll get into details with it tomorrow as we go deeper into Lord Expose, Disarm, and Destroy. I encourage you to get the book, Consuming Fire for Fire. You can get it through ebook, and you can get it in the next 24 hours or in the next 3 days on our website, www.freshfireprayer.com. If you have it, then go to chapter 8 and start reading it and start praying it. I tell you the truth. If you pray it with sincere heart and desperation, God will begin to reveal to you some deep secret in darkness which is working against you without your knowledge. I've seen too many things. A woman was looking for pregnancy. She didn't know why she was always experiencing, miscarriage. Every time she's pregnant, she goes through miscarriage. And then a man of God told her, wake up at midnight and come out. Go to your mother's room and you'll know why you are unable to be pregnant. So she woke up at midnight by the instruction of the prophet and went into his mother's room. Upon entering into his own mother's room, who was sharing, was in their house, living in the house with her, she discovered that her, her menstrual pad was in her mother's mouth, sucking the blood. I said, Mom, what are you doing with my menstrual pad? It was in her mother's mouth, sucking the blood at midnight, not knowing that the mother has been using her pregnancies, the children that she's aborting, as sacrifice, blood sacrifice. This world is full of wicked people. If you have not experienced it, you would think we are talking to you about fairy tales. And some people are so bewitched that they don't even know what problem they are going through. And that's where witchcraft want them to be ignorant. Witchcraft wants you to be ignorant because all their evil plans are secretive. And they want you to be in darkness of you being ignorant of their operation. And so they can put you in perpetual, constant bondage. So when you hear these things like this, some people, they would think they cannot be true. But look at your own life and look at how they are making you go in circles. Look at your own life, how you are struggling. But what is the end product of all your struggle, of all your double jobs, of all your effort? What's going on? You think this is how God brought some of us up in this world, to be struggling for nothing, wasting our years, fulfilling nothing? Some people have basically nothing, and yet still they are in Europe or in US, the most blessed countries, and yet still they have nothing. Some people don't even drive, cannot afford a house, apartment, nothing. They have nothing at all. This is not it. There's a better way. God has a glory for you. But until God turns your shame into glory and deals with these evil people, things will not change. And that's why some of you have to pray, Lord, expose, reveal. There was a time that I think it was Rachel did not understand why she was pregnant and was having so much complications. She went, I think it was Rebecca, she went before God in prayer and said, Lord, I don't understand. How come I'm so pregnant and I'm having so much problems, complications with this pregnancy? And God said, the reason why you are going through this is because you have two nations in your stomach. And the younger one will be greater than the older one. She had to go for inquiry, spiritual inquiry, for the Lord to reveal to him, the Lord to expose what was going on with her pregnancy. The question is that we've been praying and praying and praying about issues which we are not seeing any result. This is the time for you to ask the Lord, Father, expose to me. Why am I fasting? Why have I been praying? And the more I fast and the more I pray, that's even when I have more nightmares. I have this spirit husband coming to sleep with me. Expose to me, what is the hidden secret in my life that I don't even know about, which is giving the devil advantage about me? This is time for spiritual inquiry. God has to reveal some things to you so that after that revelation, you can pray an effective warfare prayers. Because it's not because some people are not praying or they are not fasting or giving or serving, but they are not getting to the root cause of their problem. There seems to be a mystery behind your problem. So the more spiritual warfare you do, the more it seems it's getting worse, because you are not tackling the issue from the root cause, because you don't even know the root of your problem. You don't even know the source. If you have that problem, then I advise you get the book Spiritual Diagnosis to help you with your root, understanding the fundamental root of your problem. What is it that is causing this issue? Because if it is not witchcraft, you are wasting your time praying against witchcraft. Because you can be praying against witchcraft, but your problem has nothing to do with witchcraft. And if it is a curse also, then you must be focusing on breaking curses. And if it is a spirit husband, then you must be focusing on dealing with the spiritual husband. If it is covenant that has given your enemies legal right, then so we don't want to waste our bullet and our energy and fasting on dealing with things that is not the root of our problem. And that's why expose is very important. Lord, expose to me. Some of you will begin to have dreams, and in your dream, God will begin to reveal to you some things about your life you didn't even know. Or you begin to see a person, a specific kind of person who is showing up in your life, tormenting you, and then God will give you understand that this is the person who manifests in your dream as a cat, as an owl, as a mouse, whatever they may, to attack you. And now begin to pray against that black cat. Begin to pray against that snake. Begin to pray against that enemy. And so now, when you are on the prayer line, you don't waste your prayer saying, you go directly by the revelation given to you through that dream, and you begin to release the weapons of warfare against that enemy that you saw in your dreams. Amen. So we have a lot to do during this season of fasting and prayer, and I pray that if there's anything you take from this fasting, it's revelation. You need revelation. Without revelation, there will be no transformation. If you don't know your enemies, you can't effectively fight them. You can't fight an enemy you do not know. You can't fight an enemy you do not know. You need to know and master who the enemy is, and then be able to appropriate the right weapons to deal with the enemy. You can't be praying against witchcraft if your problem is a generational issue. Then it means you have to start dealing with what? Breaking curses. You cannot be dealing with generational curses if it's a spirit husband who is married to you and you have to break your covenant with them. So you need revelation. I will encourage you, get the book Spiritual Diagnosis if you don't even really know the source of your problem. But this season, I pray that the Lord will give you revelation about any hidden problems. There are people, if the Lord does not shine light in your darkness, by the time you realize in 6 months' time, they are going to be diagnosing you with all sorts of sicknesses and diseases. But if the Lord is able to shine light, you'll be able to pick it up right now and begin to pray against it before the doctors tell you that you are in stage 2 or stage 3 of this kind of sickness. Whilst when the enemy threw the arrow at you, you didn't even know about it. There was one day you just felt like a sharp pain in your breast and you forgot about it. But if God reveals to you that they want to give you cancer through that sharp pain, you will start praying against it and stop it before it becomes too complicated. Don't wait until you come and tell me the doctor says I have cancer, breast cancer, before we pray about it. May the Lord reveal to you when they release the arrow so that we can send the arrow back to the sender. If the enemy is attacking your marriage, let us deal with it now. In Genesis, we saw the devil as a snake. In Revelation, we see the devil as the great dragon. So the snake of Genesis in Revelation has grown to become a dragon whose mouth is releasing fire. Don't wait until the snake you are experiencing today mature and metamorphose and grow into becoming a dragon, because it's very difficult to deal with a dragon than to kill a snake. So some of us, we need revelation in order to kill some snakes now. If you wait too long, you will start dealing with dragons. Dragons in your marriage, dragons in your health, dragons with your finances. It will be too bad. I know God is able to do all things, but why should you put yourself in a situation where situations are so ugly? And it is not everybody who has the anointing for the resurrection. It is not everybody who has the anointing for the resurrection of dry bones coming back to life and Lazarus coming back to life. Not everybody. So if you don't have the grace, don't wait until the devil push you into that situation. That's why we are praying. Father, if there is anything that is working against me without my knowledge, some of you, your children are into some things. If you catch it now, you can stop them. And it will not grow to make them lesbians, make them stubborn, disobedient, and pick up bad, because you catch it at the tender age. You will catch it early. Oh, that this is what my son or daughter is involved in. This is what she's watching. This is what he's reading. And this is where they are sowing the seed. I can intercept and intercede for her right now. But wait, if you discover it later on and they come and say, Mommy, I'm a gay, I'm a lesbian, it is different. It's another warfare. It's very difficult. But if you catch it now, you can tell that girl or boy that, hey, there's no room in this house for this stupidity. And we can cast it out immediately because the seed is being sown. Some of us are too busy. We don't allow God to reveal things to us. And then things are going unattended to. You've been so busy. A woman was so busy doing night job, unknown to her, as she was doing busy with night job and couldn't have time for his own husband. Her own husband was sleeping with her own children. I'm talking to you about reality. I'm not telling you stories. Her own children, the husband started molesting them because the woman was too busy making money and leaving the husband doing night jobs. And the devil sneaked in and the man started what? Touching and sexually harassing the kids. She never knew until later on, after many years, the children came to her to say that, Mommy, do you know that Daddy was touching us inappropriately? And it has begun to have a negative impact on their lives. She didn't know. Oh, ask yourself, what is it going on in your life which you don't know? Ask yourself today, what is it going on in your life without your knowledge, which you are oblivious to it. You are busy chasing after dollar, but you don't know that the devil is trying to give you some cancer. The devil is planning to plant some diabetes in your body. The devil is trying to destroy your marriage. You are so busy, distracted about many things, but you have no idea that the devil is sowing some negative seeds in your life around you to destroy you. Lord, expose them. Very critical, very important that the Lord brings some exposures in our lives. And when he shines light in our darkness, then we'll be able to know, hey, that's why I'm going to lose this money. That's why I've been losing money. That's why I've been feeling weak of late. That's why, because how come sadly every day you are feeling weak? Every day you are feeling weak. You think, oh, I'm just tired. Maybe there is a sickness they are ejecting into your body, your kidney, your liver, and that's why of late your weakness. You will need to discover the plot of the enemy. You see, listen to this and understand. When somebody is in darkness and operating, they can see you because you are in the light, but you cannot see them because they are in darkness. When somebody is hiding in darkness, you cannot see them or what they are doing. But if you are in light, they can see you even when they are hidden in darkness because there's light on you. The only way you can see whatever they are doing in their darkness is to cast your light, your torch, your lamp in their darkness, and then things begin to be unfolded and exposed. It's my prayer for somebody that in this week, may the Lord expose things to you, what is going on at your workplace. May the Lord expose things to you, what is going on in your sons and daughters. If my son or daughter is doing anything that is going to destroy their lives without my knowledge, Lord, expose it to me. Let me know. If they are hanging around bad friends, expose it to me. If they are watching some things they ought not to watch, expose it to me. If they are reading some books that is going to destroy them, expose it to me. If my husband is flirting around and I don't know and I think he's a nice man, he's my angel, Lord, expose it to me. If my own best friend is in to take that which is mine, sometimes your own best friend you call best friend, they have seen something you